$30 million. That is not a typo. That is the reported debt left behind when Network RV collapsed into voluntary administration just weeks ago, taking the Vancraft, Next Gen, and Victory brands down with it. 30 million. And here's the part that should chill you. It's not even the biggest caravan collapse this country has seen in the last 12 months. That title goes to Zone RV at 42 million. Before that, Tango Caravans, 3.4 million. Before that, Highline. Before that, Infinity Motorhomes. The list keeps growing, and the money ordinary Australians are losing keeps piling up. Meanwhile, the Axone survey found 80% of caravan owners have experienced a fault with their van. 80. Half of those classified it as major. We're talking about products that cost as much as a house deposit, coming off factory floors with leaking roofs, collapsing structures, and wiring that wouldn't pass muster in a garden shed. So today we're doing something about it. 5 caravan brands I would never hitch to my tow bar in Australia, and 5 that are built to last a lifetime. I'm Liam. I'm 50 years old. I've spent my entire adult life around workshops, caravans, and this industry. No sponsorships, no brand deals, no agenda. Everything I'm about to say comes from AC findings, federal court records, documented owner reports, published recall data, and first-hand trade experience. Let's go. Starting with the 5 to avoid. Number 5 is Tango Caravans. Melbourne-based, and for a while they were building a decent name for themselves. Then in August 2024, the whole thing went under. Liquidators reported the company had no money to pay back customers, suppliers, or the tax office, with debts exceeding $3.4 million. More than 60 customers were left without caravans, despite having paid deposits, or in some cases, the full price. One retired couple told media they'd handed over $72,000 for a final payment, only to discover through the news that the business had been plunged into liquidation. 72 grand. Gone. No van, no refund, and barely a phone call. When a liquidator tells you there are no assets left to distribute, that's the end of the conversation. If you see a Tango on the second-hand market, know that warranty support, parts supply, and manufacturer backing simply do not exist anymore. Number 4 is the revolving door of budget fly-by-night imported brands. I'm not naming one company here because the problem is the category. Every caravan show season, new badges appear on the cheapest stands, selling vans at prices that seem too good to be true. And they are. These are brands that pop up, move a few hundred units, and vanish within a year or two, sometimes just changing their name and doing it again. The CEO of the Caravan Industry Association of Australia has publicly said the barrier to entry for building a caravan in this country is too low. Owners of these no-name imports report chassis corrosion within months, fittings vibrating loose on the first gravel road, and after-sales service that's essentially a disconnected phone number. Now, I want to be fair. There are legitimate importers doing it properly. MDC has been operating for 20 years. Snowy River is now the second biggest brand by unit sales. Those companies have invested in service networks and accountability. But the ones with no track record, no workshop you can walk into, no 5-year history of actually standing behind what they sell, leave them on the lot. Number 3, and I know this will be controversial, is Jayco. Specifically, their models marketed as off-road capable. Jayco is the biggest caravan manufacturer in Australia, and they sell more units than anyone else, so they will always attract complaints. Plenty of owners are happy with their on-road tourers, but the AC has taken Jayco to federal court twice. The first time, in 2017, over 4 customers with defective vans that had issues like roof collapses and persistent leaks. The court found Jayco misled at least one consumer about their right to a refund. Then in mid-2025, the ACC went after them again, alleging Jayco's advertising for the Outback, all-terrain, and cross-track models showed those vans being towed through creek crossings and four-wheel drive only tracks, while Jayco's own warranty specifically excluded damage from exactly those conditions. Let me put that in plain language. The ads show the van doing things the warranty won't cover. If you want a Jayco for sealed road park-to-park touring, you'll probably be fine. But if you're buying an Outback model because you saw it splashing through a creek in an Instagram ad, read the warranty before you sign anything. Quick favor before we hit the top two. If this is helping, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps this reach the next person who might be about to hand over their savings to the wrong company. On we go. Number 2 is Zone RV. This was meant to be the pinnacle. Boutique. Handcrafted on the Sunshine Coast. Caravan starting north of $270,000. And in December 2025, the whole operation collapsed into voluntary administration, leaving behind $42 million in debt and more than 200 workers sent home right before Christmas. Zone had been using customer deposits to fund its day-to-day operations, what the industry now calls the customer as banker model. Customers paid a 5% deposit, then a 40% installment, then a 35% progress payment, with the final 20% on delivery. When the music stopped, people who'd handed over six-figure sums were left with nothing. The brand's assets were eventually purchased by Essential Caravans, and affected buyers were offered the chance to purchase a van at cost. But for someone who already paid once and lost everything, being asked to find tens of thousands more is a brutal ask. Zone is proof that a high price tag guarantees nothing. And number 1 on the avoid list is Network RV. This one happened weeks ago, and it should terrify every buyer in the country. Network RV owned the Vancraft, Next Gen, Victory, and Styline brands, plus 3 fair dinkum caravan dealerships. The reported debt is $30 million, $10 million to a financier, $12 million to trade creditors, $3 million to the tax office, and $1.5 million in employee entitlements. 129 completed vans sitting on a factory floor with no certainty about who owns them or who honors the warranty. This wasn't a tiny workshop. This was a major manufacturer that moved into a brand new 10,000 square meter factory in 2022, and it still went under. The administrator says there's interest in a sale, but right now, if you own a Network RV product, your warranty is a question mark. This is the harsh reality of the Australian caravan market in 2026. The industry association's own data shows manufacturers produced nearly 24,000 RVs in 2025, down 5% on the previous year, even as Chinese imports keep growing. The market is correcting, and buyers are the ones taking the hit. Right, let's flip it. Because for every brand collapsing under its own debt, there are manufacturers in this country building vans that genuinely go the distance. Number 5 on the Built to Last list is Retreat Caravans. They fly under the radar, but owners and industry reviewers consistently rate them among the most reliable in Australia. Retreat uses a high-density composite material called RXP paired with aluminium framing, a build that massively reduces water ingress, the single biggest long-term killer of caravans. Their off-grid Fraser and ERV models come with Cruisemaster suspension, lithium power, and Sirius solar, solid warranty, dealers that answer the phone, and build quality you can verify with your own eyes. Number 4 is Crusader Caravans. This one has the receipts. Crusader has won the Caravan Industry Victoria Manufacturer of the Year award 4 times in 6 years. They are the first and only caravan builder to also hold CIV Master Manufacturer accreditation. Every van is full composite construction on a 100% Australian steel chassis, built at their purpose-built factory in Epping, Victoria. Independent judges assessed manufacturing quality, customer service, compliance, and innovation, and Crusader beat out Jayco, New Age, and Snowy River. That is not marketing spin. That is the industry's own governing body saying these people build a better product. Number 3 is Lotus Caravans. Over 21 years in the game, Australian-made, and widely regarded as one of the finest off-road builders going. The Trooper and off-grid models are favorites of gray nomads doing the big lap, built on Lotus's own AL Plus aluminium alloy frames with Cruisemaster suspension and Redarc electrical systems. Owners report tens of thousands of hard outback Ks, the Gibb River Road, Cape Leveque, with nothing more than a minor appliance warranty claim. 6-year-old Lotuses still running strong. Owners coming back for their second and third van. That repeat business tells you everything you need to know. Number 2 is Caravan Caravans. Family built in Brisbane for over 60 years. 3 generations of the Gall family. If you've seen the Gall Boys documentaries, you've watched these vans get thrashed through some of the harshest country on the continent and come out looking like they went for a Sunday drive. Hot-dipped galvanized chassis, high-tensile interlocked aluminium frames, solar as standard, and a build quality owners describe with one word: over-engineered. That is exactly what you want when you're 800 Ks from the nearest mechanic. And number 1 is Bush Tracker. Every Bush Tracker is custom built from a blank canvas at their Sunshine Coast factory. Galvanized double laminated chassis, 60-ton tensile axles, massive water and power systems, and a philosophy that prioritizes survival-grade durability over showroom sparkle. Heavy, expensive, and in my honest opinion, the closest thing to indestructible this industry has ever built. Bush Trackers are still running strong after 15 years in the Kimberley, the Simpson, deep Western Australia, without a major issue. That's not a brochure claim. That is documented owner history. So the recap. 5 to avoid. Tango fly-by-night imports, Jayco's off-road range, Zone RV, and Network RV. 5 that last. Retreat, Crusader, Lotus, Caravan, and Bush Tracker. My honest takeaway, and it's the same one I always give, is this. The Australian caravan industry has a quality problem and a stability problem, and both are getting worse before they get better. But it also has genuine craftspeople building extraordinary machines on Australian soil. Your job is to land on the right side of that divide. Do not buy on emotion at a show. Do not hand over a large deposit without checking financial stability, warranty history, and independent owner reviews. And if something feels off, trust that feeling. Walk away. There will always be another van. There won't always be another $60,000. Share this with someone you know who's in the market. It might save them a fortune. I'll see you in the next one. Drive safe and check the builder before you check the brochure. This content reflects the presenter's honest opinions based on publicly available information, including AC reports, federal court records, published recall notices, documented owner reviews, and first-hand industry experience at the time of recording. Individual experiences may vary. Always conduct independent research and seek professional advice before making any purchasing decision.